What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the PG Pirates Show presented by FanDuel. My name is Colin Beazley. I'm here, as always, with Jason Mackey, and we cover the Pirates for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Got an exciting show for you today, but first, today is a very, very special day. You know why today is a special day? It's my co-host's birthday. Jason, happy birthday. How are you celebrating?
Man, I'm great. We don't need to talk about me. I'm going to see Billy Strings tonight, though. I'm very excited about that. Do you know who Billy Strings is? I know we're on different ends of the spectrum musically, but
I do not know who Billy Strings is. No.
All right, I'm probably not going to bridge that gap during our time together. But no, he's like a bluegrass jam bandy artist. He's kind of like meshed current culture with bluegrass, and like there's hints of the Grateful Dead and Fish in there. So anyway, it's going to be a bunch of hippies and stuff at PPG Paints Arena tonight, and I am very excited about it. And thank you for the birthday wishes.
That's perfect.
Very kind of you.
It's perfect timing. Like you're getting a show that sounds up your alley, and it's on your birthday too. That works well.
I know. Very excited. Very excited.
Are you making a night out of it? Like getting dinner somewhere nice first?
Yes, we are. I'm actually
going to be public, so maybe you don't want to say where unless you want people telling you happy birthday tonight. But
I don't care. People will find me and scream at me. I don't know. We're going to Denoyas, which I think is somewhat over by you, right?
It is.
Yeah. I've never been. You've probably been there, I'm guessing.
I've been twice. It's excellent. It is so good.
Recommendations? What should I get?
You can't go wrong with any sort of pasta. Like the last time I was there, I got gnocchi.
Okay.
It was just excellent. I took my girlfriend there. She got some sort of pasta as well, and it was one of the best dates we've been on just because the food is that good. Not to hype it up too much, but it was really, really good in my opinion.
I can't wait, man. We're getting dinner there. Chris from Renegades of the Rotunda took care of us. We got a little table and do that and some Billy Strings. It's going to be a good night, Colin. It's going to be a real good night. Excited.
It's going to be excellent. We've got some Pirates news to get into, but first, a quick plug from our friends at FanDuel. We talked last week about World Series odds for next year, but we kind of skipped over a big baseball event, and that's the World Baseball Classic that'll be happening before the season. USA and the American national team, led by Pirates ace Paul Skeens, is the current favorites at plus 155. Japan is plus 320 to repeat as WBC champions, and the Dominican Republic are the third favorites at plus 410. But after that, we've got some Pirates season to come up with, and they had some news yesterday, Jason. They did some moves. If our viewers didn't hear that, can you catch them up on what happened yesterday?
Oh, you're gonna make me go through all of these? I'm just kidding. All right, we'll go through it slowly but surely. And you actually first reported they put some guys on waivers: Liover Peguero, Ji-Hwan Bae, Jack Little. Well, they lost all of those guys different ways. Bae and Little were claimed. Liover Peguero was not claimed, but he's a minor league free agent now because he's been in the minor leagues for 7 years. So, I mean, he could sign with the Pirates. I really don't think he's going to. But just some other maneuvering with the 40-man roster. They reinstated Dugan Darnell. We never even knew ye. I guess I should also say they then designated him for assignment, which was a very strange move. But they brought Jared Jones off the 60-day IL. Same with Endy Rodriguez, Ronnie Simon, and Manuel Valdez. That had to be done within 5 days of the World Series. And like I said, they designated Dugan Darnell and Michael Darrell Hicks for assignment. And I believe, let me make sure my notes. Oh, and they added Ryan Harbin to the 40-man roster. So it was a typical news dump of a day of roster moves, of all this stuff. But I'm not sure any of it is of much consequence. Like we do want to talk about Ji-Hwan Bae and Liover Peguero and the moves and the ramifications of it. But I mean, we knew that stuff was happening. We knew they had to bring guys off the 60-day IL back onto the 40-man. Obviously, you're not going to do anything other than do that with, Jared Jones and Endy Rodriguez. I guess Simon and Valdez surprised me a little bit just because I don't really see where they impact the 26 team. But yeah, I mean, the waiver guys were the news from the night before.
Yeah, I agree. And this was all procedural. This happened across all 30 Major League Baseball teams. Everyone had to bring their 60-day guys back onto the 40-man roster. Everyone had to figure out some waiver claims, and minor league free agency started. So none of it is just the Pirates doing it. It happened across the country, across the league.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. What we reported on Tuesday and the waiver claims, that was definitely the most interesting piece. But I say interesting, even though none of it was necessarily surprising in my opinion.
Same.
Jack Little, like, hardly knew him. Feel kind of an interesting 5-day period for him because if you don't know who Jack Little was, which first of all, I don't blame you. He made 2 appearances for the Dodgers in 2025. He made his major league debut just in a random June game for them. Ended up being designated for assignment in August. The Pirates picked him up. He went to AAA Indianapolis, and he was fine there. He had, I think it was like a 3 ERA somewhere in there. Never ended up getting a call up to the major leagues before he was designated for assignment. I'm not surprised he got designated for assignment, but it must have been an interesting 5 days for him, going from Game 7 of the World Series, where obviously he's not with the organization anymore, but if the Dodgers win that game, he gets a ring, to suddenly being designated for assignment a few days later.
Yeah.
I'm curious how that went for him, how those 5 days were for him, but not super surprised about that move. With Ji-Hwan Bae and Liover Peguero, those are the 2 more notable names, and I'll use the word interesting again, more interesting moves, even if it's not necessarily that surprising. Were you surprised at either that this was the time the Pirates moved on from Ji-Hwan Bae and Liover Peguero?
Colin, I was a little bit surprised. Those guys have obviously struggled for a little while now, but they're not doing anything that they weren't doing before. I don't know what made this the time where they had to get them off the roster. I mean, maybe giving them other opportunities. Maybe you just feel, based on what they did this past season, that they're not going to figure it out here. I don't know. There's never like a magic time. Like, I don't want to say there's no good time, but obviously you're releasing somebody. That's not a good thing. I don't understand why now. They've been substandard for a little while. It's not like the Pirates are trying to go out, at least that we see, and add to their 40-man roster. Like, they've still got a spot there. I mean, they theoretically could have held on to one of them. I mean, it just seemed like there was a decision made that these guys aren't going to get it done here. We don't have the opportunity. And for Peguero, I guess I get it, but you haven't signed a better option at third base. You don't know who's going to play shortstop. Could be Connor Griffin, Nick Gonzalez at a sub 700 OPS. Like, I'm not sure, he should have a stranglehold on that position. They need help in the outfield. I'm not saying it's going to be Ji-Hwan Bae. Frankly, I don't think it will be, but the time to cut bait now is just odd. When I look at some of the other people on the 40-man roster, other moves they could have made, it did catch me by surprise a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, there are other guys that could have gone and maybe made less of a headline, I guess, but I don't really have any issue with them cutting bait now.
I don't either. To be clear.
Yeah. With Peguero, this was the final year he had minor league options, so it would have been something where they kind of would have had to bring him into spring training, and he'd have to fight for a major league job, and there's not really another option for him there. I guess they didn't think that was going to happen. Obviously, with the team the way it is now, you think, oh, maybe Peguero has a spot, considering they have holes to fill at shortstop and third and left. But this was also a guy who hit 200 last year and it didn't really seem like he was going to figure it out. He had that one outstanding 3-homer game, but there wasn't, I wasn't exactly looking to see what else would happen from him. It kind of just seemed like it stagnated, and both parties knew it was going to be the end at the end of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's wrong at all. I probably would have just stuck with it until I had a better option. Like, why do I have to do something? I'm going to give you the opportunity to show me that you can do something until you don't. Like, Alexander Canario is still on the roster. Ronnie Simon's still on the roster. And Manuel Valdez is still on the roster. Like, I have more hope, frankly, that Ji-Hwan Bae would figure something out than those guys. Maybe that's a controversial take, but I at least see skills with Bae. If I'm the Mets, I'm talking to him about, dude, I don't care how far you hit the ball. I need you to hit the ball. I need you to hit it consistently. And then we're going to talk about running the bases and running the bases smartly. Like, he has improved. I don't question it. He hit 0-50 last year. Like, that's crazy. But I think there could be something there. I'm more optimistic that there's something there with Bae than some of the guys that they have on their 40-man roster. And Peguero's sort of the same way, that maybe you play him at third, maybe you play him at second and play Gonzalez at third. I just, it wasn't that long ago, Colin, that they were giving him opportunities, bringing him up. Like, I was thinking back to DFAing Rowdy Tellez. Like, they got Rowdy Tellez out of here and caused all that fuss over the bonus to get at bats for Liover Peguero. They clearly thought enough of him at that point, and now he's gone. Just kind of odd.
I don't know if anything necessarily changed too much in 2025, but it kind of was a prove-it year for him. Or it wasn't kind of. It was a prove-it year for him, and I don't know that
much, I guess.
Yeah, he didn't prove enough, and I don't know that. I don't mind it. I don't mind seeing the change, and if either of them figure it out at their next spot, good for them. Like, Peguero especially was a guy that I liked a lot. I think that I'm looking forward to seeing what a change of scenery and a new organization could potentially do for him. I don't necessarily think that this is a move. I'm not necessarily banking on him to go and suddenly become a stellar Major League Baseball player, but I do think that a new organization could bring some things out of him.
Sure.
But I don't know.
Who do you think is more likely to burn them? I'm not saying one will, but like if one of them goes to another organization, figures it out, becomes a star, Peguero or Bae?
I don't think either will, but Peguero.
That's not the. Right.
I don't think either will, but Peguero. I'll answer the question. I'll say that. Like, he was a former top 100 prospect, and he did have all this potential, and there are tools there, but I do think it had run its course with the Pirates organization.
That's fair. And I agree with you. I think it would be Peguero. I think there was power there, man. Like, I know you were not on the beat at the time, but there was like a thought that he was somewhere in their like middle infield of the future. And there's all this fuss over Liover Peguero and what he's going to be able to do. And he's got speed, he's got power, and can play defense. And he's this fun, outgoing personality. It's actually crazy when you think back to it, like how out over our skis we were. But yeah. It's good to get to know Peggy. It's a shame it didn't work out. Boy, the Marte trade looks bad. The Bell trade looks bad. The Tyone trade looks bad. The Musgrove trade looks bad. It's a real era of letting talented players go. Clay Holmes for not enough in return.
Yeah, that's by far the biggest thing that I've seen in the reaction and in coverage of it is that that kind of ends that era.
Yeah.
Do want to talk a little bit more about Ryan Harbin, the guy that they added to the 40-man roster. When he was called up, I remember seeing something about how there were a number of people in the Pirates minor league system who described him as nasty. I went and looked at his stats. I saw his AAA ERA is pretty unsightly, but then you look at his strikeout numbers and you think, I don't know, maybe there's something there. Do you have any interest, any insight in Ryan Harbin, the new Pirates bullpen guy?
So a little bit. He reminds me of Nuke LaLoosh a little bit. Like, struck out 18, walked 18, also a new league record. Like, that's the kind of guy we're looking at here. Like, there's stuff, there's swing and miss, and there's also miss the zone. And I just think about like the new pitching program that they're going to introduce probably soon with Bill Murphy. Like, I don't think there's a natural link between the two. Maybe there is that I'm unaware of, but I mean, that's the kind of stuff that the Astros were able to take and harness and use for good. Like, find what this guy does and throw it consistently and in the zone and pare down the repertoire. Maybe they have something. I don't see the need to put him on the 40 right now, unless there's something I'm missing, but he could be Rule 5 eligible. I have not dug that far.
Minor league free agent, so this is what I do it now.
Okay, good. Thank you. Good pickup. Then, yeah, I'm great. No issue. I'll take projectability and stuff.
Yeah, looking at his stats, he played for 3 different Pirates minor league teams in 2025. He had a 4.69 ERA in 50 appearances, pitched 63 innings. He struggled a lot with runs, but the intriguing part of this is he has 92 strikeouts in 63 and a third innings.
That's a lot.
He also had 46 walks. So I think the Nuke Lelouch comparison is pretty apt there. If they can, he's got a triple-digit fastball. He's got a number of filthy off-speed pitches. If you can harness that, you've got something there, and I see why it's worth taking a shot on him. If not really any harm, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're going to have changes to their 42, right? Like the next stop, we're going to talk about non-tender. I don't mean on this show, but you're going to talk about non-tendering guys. That's going to take some people off the 40 man. Obviously, you'll have to add them back on for the Rule 5 or whatever. And who knows what happens, but I'll take a chance with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball and he misses bats if I can teach the kid some control, especially when you're the Pirates and you just hired a pitching coach from the Astros. Like, I'm going to hear you out.
Mm-hmm. A lot more roster shuffling to come, and that's definitely something that we will talk about. Got a little bit more to talk about on the show, but first, a word from our friends at Greenewalt Roofing.
Hey, Pittsburgh. When you think of great roofs, you think Greenewalt Roofing Company. With over 20 years experience, Greenewalt knows your roof is your home's first line of defense from rain, wind, snow, and ice. That's why Greenewalt Roofing's standard for perfection is so important. You can trust that their team of experienced installers will treat your property like it's their own. When it comes to roof replacements, Greenewalt Roofing is Pittsburgh's only choice. Visit greenewaltroofing.com today or call 412-314-8882 to schedule your free estimate. PA contractor number 36262.
So Thursday wasn't just an important day because it was roster teardown day and adding guys back to the 40-man and all the transactional things. It was also the first day of free agency, and that's something that we've talked about a lot on this show already. We'll talk about it over the coming weeks and months, depending on how long moves make, how the market develops, all sorts of things like that. But we did want to discuss it a little bit on this show today, just because it is the I guess today's Friday, the second day of free agency. I had an article come out yesterday that it was just 5 different solutions for the Pirates at third base. We've talked a lot on the show about how much they struggled at third, had virtually zero offensive production from that position, and it's a clear need in this offseason. So, Jason, what were your thoughts on that piece, and what do you think the Pirates should do with that position as free agency starts up?
No, it stunk. What were you doing? Loud. No, I'm kidding.
I set myself up for failure there.
You didn't set yourself up for failure, but you did put that on a tee. I couldn't not swing.
I did.
So it honestly got me thinking about a couple of different things, which, any good piece like that will. I really liked some of the suggestions. Some of them I didn't like so much. Like Willie Castro, I am probably against. I don't think there's enough of what they need there. I think it's maybe too big of a gamble. Reading more about Eugenio Suarez, I really like it and would hope that maybe something could come around in that vein. The clubhouse presence, the power, somebody who's obviously been there and done that. Nothing against Jordan Westburg, who actually, Colin, it's one of the suggestions that I like. And because you wrote in there, I mean, the Orioles and the Pirates are very natural trade partners, and it could be, Mayo or Mountcastle or whatever, but Westburg probably scratches them where they itch relative to third base. It's just one thing Westburg doesn't give them is the mileage, the experience, being in the playoffs recently, all that fun stuff that I think Suarez would bring. And just, reading a little bit more, the good and the bad with him, honestly, like I see 49 homers. I see, 118 RBIs. And I think, oh my goodness, that's going to cost way too much for the Pirates. They're never going to want to pay that. But then if you balance it out and think a little bit more, stuff you had included in there about, batting average and defense and consistency and all that stuff, like, I don't know, maybe it is doable for them. Maybe that becomes their big fish. So that they need one. I know that they need somebody that's really going to sort of change public opinion, but and I don't want to spoil the piece, but I thought there was a lot of good suggestions in there. Yeah.
Suarez is someone that I've researched a lot. I've talked about a lot on to you, to various other people I talked to around the Pirates organization. And it just seems like the type of bet that they should take, that they might have to take, just because he fits a need for the Pirates at a price that isn't prohibitive to them.
Yeah.
They need someone who's going to hit homers. They need a veteran presence. They need someone to play third base. Really, and just to make this as simple as possible, I think they need a dude in the middle of the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Suarez is a dude. Looking at the downsides, there also would be a lot more risk than you'd want, which is kind of why he's someone the Pirates can afford. This does seem like a contract that could blow up for whoever signs it, regardless of the Pirates. I mean, he's someone he's 34 years old. His defense isn't particularly strong. He strikes out a lot. He's someone that looks like regression is going to happen at some point during that contract, but he's such a good hitter. He hits for so much power that it's something that you almost can't ignore. Like it's almost just worth it based on that alone. And that's before even getting the public opinion part of this, which I think matters too.
Yeah, I mean, I think it says something. How did you word this? Let me go back. I think statement of intent.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
That sounds like something I'd say.
He's going to do something that the Pirates don't have anybody else capable of doing. You know, you hit 40 plus home runs. To me, that's not nothing, man. Like, I don't care how he feels. Frankly, like,
I agree.
They don't need the defense. They need the offense. They need somebody to hit home runs. They have other guys who can hopefully get on base ahead of him, and they need that game-changing power. They've been so deficient with home runs. And maybe that offers some lineup protection to Reynolds and Cruz. I think that would go a long way. And I mean, this is absolutely not criticizing your other suggestions, and all like good and intelligent, but like, is Josh Jung going to change public perception of the Pirates? You know,
No.
Is Jordan Westberg, Alec Boehm, like, they're not. They might be smart signings, but it's not going to make your casual fan go, huh, wow, they might be serious here like that. Okay, good job. Good job. I like that. I'll hear you out. Like, that's where the Pirates need to get people to. And if that costs you, $15 million over 3 years, 45 total, like, that's what it costs you. That's running a Major League Baseball team. So I think there's value in that, Colin. I really do.
I think it would be a little bit pricier than that. It would probably be more around like 20 for 3 years, but that's still
you can do it.
That's not that big of a difference, all things considered. And
I think Bowden's shooting high though with 72. I think that's too much.
I saw Bowden at 72. I saw a different reporter for The Athletic at I think it was 69 million, and then
Really?
Kylie McDaniel from ESPN had it around 50, 55. So probably somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I haven't been around long enough to know exactly which one's gospel and how it is. But the other thing that I think about with that is that's the type of signing that would carry cachet in the clubhouse too.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's also Eugenio Suarez is also known as a good clubhouse guy. I don't know too much about that to speak intelligently on it. I just know that that's his reputation. But if the Pirates were to go out and sign a guy who hits 49 home runs and is someone who's a proven major leaguer, who's going to hit for power, who's going to hit third, fourth, or fifth in that lineup every single day, that's something that would matter a lot to the guys in the Pirates clubhouse. That's something that they could see, okay, this organization is really going for it. This organization believes that we have something here and went out and spent money to do it. I think that that's something that would be like that belief, that switch is something that would affect the clubhouse positively, just for signing the guy, regardless of how much he produces.
I totally agree with you, man. We've both been in there. You were in it a lot more than I was this past year, but I think they would benefit from somebody that you can kind of rally around, who feels like a leader, a culture changer, change the chemistry in there. Like I'm not saying that I think it was bad or like it needs this gigantic correction. Like, oh my goodness, these are bad people. Like, absolutely not. But would they benefit from having somebody you feel a little bit like, hey, this guy knows what he's doing. He's been here before, and he might feel comfortable speaking up and get people to rally behind him. And honestly, that's probably something for both of us to think about a little bit more this offseason. Like, whether it's Eugenio Suarez, whether it's somebody in the outfield, like I do feel strongly this is and I think you agree with me, like that's a type of personality that this group could really use, kind of a position player equivalent of Paul Skeens. And it's certainly nothing against Andrew McCutchen. It's just not his personality, I don't think, to be that type. And, we saw it 13, 12, 13, 14, 15 with Russell Martin, Burnett, some stronger personalities. It's not a bad thing, man.
Yeah. I do wonder if Suarez would play some DH too, if they would just see the defense is declining and do that there. But of course, they got to go out and sign the guy. They've got to, whether it's him, whether it's someone else there, some move is needed. I just think that's one that could make sense.
Yeah. Jason,
any final birthday messages to share? Anything else to share with the class?
I got nothing, man. I got nothing. We were going to get into some bench coach talk, but let's save that for Tuesday, shall we?
Let's save it for Tuesday.
Some thoughts to get into and how Don Kelly might round out his staff. So I could talk about the third base free agent options all day. And you have another piece coming out, correct? When the outfield comes out later today or tomorrow?
Left fielders. It'll come out tomorrow.
Okay.
Something I'm still working on, trying to find some good options but it's something I'm looking forward to putting together and looking forward to seeing what you, the fans, think and you, Jason, think. And the reaction from the first one was cool. So good. Looking forward to doing that again.
All right. Well, we'll do that on Tuesday then.
Yep. That'll do for today's edition of the PG Pirates Show. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe, as we'll release new videos on every Tuesday and Friday all off season. Also check out all of my work and all of Jason's work, including the articles we talked about today, on post-gazette.com. Thank you all for tuning in. We will talk to you next Tuesday.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.